Welcome back to 7 ValuableCoins, where we uncover the hidden fortune in your pocket change and dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins. Today, we're talking about a Canadian penny that has shocked collectors worldwide, a 2003 Canada 1-cent coin that might look completely ordinary, until you realize it could be worth more than $300,000. That's right, one tiny copper coin, barely worth a cent in your change jar, has become one of the most valuable modern Canadian coins ever discovered. So, what makes this coin so special? How can you tell if you have one hiding in your collection? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and how one small minting error turned a humble penny into a six-figure treasure. Before we zoom in on the 2003 rarity, let's take a moment to appreciate the history behind Canada's beloved 1-cent coin. The Canadian penny was first minted in 1858, featuring a young Queen Victoria on one side and a simple maple wreath on the other. For more than 150 years, it symbolized everyday life in Canada, used in shops, schools, and piggy banks across the country. But over time, the cost of producing the penny began to outweigh its actual value. By 2012, the Royal Canadian Mint officially discontinued it, ending an era of over a century and a half of copper and zinc coins. Since then, collectors have been scrambling to find unique variations, minting errors, and ultra-high-grade examples that could transform these once common coins into valuable pieces of numismatic history. And among all those coins, one particular year stands out: 2003. In 2003, something remarkable happened at the Royal Canadian Mint. That year, a new portrait of Queen Elizabeth II was introduced, one that included a small but meaningful addition: the Queen's crown. Prior to this, coins featured her portrait without a crown, a design that had been used since 1990. So, in 2003, both versions, the crown portrait and uncrowned portrait, were struck. This transition year resulted in two distinct designs: 2003 uncrowned Elizabeth II penny, the continuation of the older effigy by Dora de Pettery Hunt. 2003 crowned Elizabeth II penny, featuring the new design by Susanna Blunt. Now, both of these coins are common in circulated condition. But it's what happened during this transition that created one of the most valuable minting errors in modern Canadian history. Here's where things get interesting. In 2003, the Mint was experimenting with new multiply-plated steel plankets, replacing the older bronze composition. To mark this change, some of the new coins were stamped with a tiny P mint mark, standing for plated. However, due to an internal mix-up, a handful of 2003 1-cent coins were struck using the old bronze composition, but with the new P mark. This combination, bronze metal with the 2003 P mint mark, was never intended for circulation. Only a few test strikes were produced before the design change was finalized. Most of these test coins were supposed to be destroyed, but a few managed to escape into the wild. And those surviving examples are now among the rarest modern Canadian coins ever made. Experts estimate that fewer than 5 authentic 2003 P bronze 1-cent coins are known to exist. Each one combines 3 unique features: the rare P mint mark, the old bronze composition, and the transitional year design. It's this extraordinary trifecta that has made the 2003 P penny one of the holy grails of Canadian numismatics. Now, let's talk numbers, because this little coin has made big headlines. When the first verified example of the 2003 P bronze 1-cent surfaced, collectors couldn't believe it was real. It was authenticated and graded by the professional coin grading service PCGS as a specimen strike, and when it hit the auction block, bidding went wild. The final hammer price, over $300,000 USD, setting a new record for a modern Canadian coin. Since then, each confirmed specimen has commanded astronomical figures, with values fluctuating between $250,000 and $400,000, depending on grade and provenance. It's truly astonishing. A coin that cost a fraction of a cent to mint is now worth more than a luxury home in some cities. So here's the million-dollar question: could you have one of these coins sitting unnoticed in your change jar? Let's break down exactly what to look for. Check the date. Look for a coin dated 2003. Find the P mark. Just below the Queen's portrait, you should see a tiny letter P. This indicates the coin was made using the experimental plated steel process, but the rare variety was actually struck on bronze. Test the magnet. The normal 2003p penny will stick to a magnet because it's steel-based. The rare bronze version, however, will not stick. If your 2003p coin doesn't respond to a magnet, you might have something incredible on your hands. Inspect the color and weight. The bronze version has a richer, reddish hue compared to the steel ones. It should also weigh around 2.5 grams, slightly heavier than the normal 2.35 gram steel penny. Verify with a professional grader. If you suspect you have one, do not try to clean or alter it in any way. Immediately contact a professional coin grading company like PCGS or NGC for authentication. Even one small scratch can affect the coin's value dramatically, so handle it with care. Error coins like the 2003p bronze penny capture the imagination of collectors because they represent moments when history accidentally went off script. They're physical reminders that even the most precise institutions, like the Royal Canadian Mint, can make mistakes. And when those mistakes survive, they become priceless artifacts of that imperfection. Each rare coin tells a story of human error, innovation, and discovery. And that's what makes collecting them so rewarding. If you're just getting started in coin collecting, here are a few quick tips. Check your change often. Rare coins can show up anywhere, from old jars to estate sales. Invest in a magnifier and a scale. They're essential for spotting small differences in design and weight. Stay informed, follow trusted numismatic websites, attend coin shows, and subscribe to channels like 7CreraCoins to stay updated on the latest discoveries. Handle coins carefully. Always hold them by the edges and store them in acid-free holders to preserve their condition. You never know when the next $300,000 penny might land in your collection. CCCCCCCCCCCC. Camera zooms in on the coin images and pans across a collection table. Host enthusiastic tone. So there you have it, the top 1 most valuable Canadian 1-cent coin, the legendary 2003p bronze penny, worth up to $300,000 and beyond. It's an incredible reminder that sometimes the smallest things can hold the greatest value. If you enjoyed this deep dive into rare Canadian coins, hit that like button, subscribe to 7CreraCoins, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our